Have you ever looked into the eyes of someone you love and felt a strange chill, as if you're staring at a stranger? It's a haunting feeling, one that creeps in slowly, like a shadow lurking just beyond your sight. You never think it will happen to you, yet here you are, sitting alone, heart heavy, questioning everything you thought you knew. Meet Emma. Just a few months ago, she was completely captivated by Jake. He swept her off her feet with his charm and charisma, making her feel like she was floating on air. They laughed until their sides ached, shared secrets that felt sacred, and enjoyed late-night talks that made her believe they were the only two people in the universe. But as the weeks turned into months, the enchanting glow began to dim. Little things started to gnaw at her heart. A snide comment here, a dismissive gesture there. Moments that pierced through the bubble of happiness they had carefully crafted together, leaving behind a lingering sting. At first, she brushed these feelings aside, convincing herself it was nothing. After all, nobody's perfect, right? Perhaps he was just having a bad day, or maybe she was reading too much into it. With each rationalization, she felt a little more trapped, a little more confused. Yet, deep down, a voice whispered, growing louder each day, urging her to pay attention. Something wasn't right. Was she being too sensitive? Was she imagining things? The confusion began to seep into her thoughts, clouding her judgment and twisting her sense of reality. She reflected on those early days when Jake showered her with affection, making her feel like the most cherished person in his world. It was intoxicating, like a drug. But now, as the shadows grew longer, she was left grappling with a haunting question. Was that love or manipulation? In this moment of uncertainty, it became painfully clear that this wasn't just about Jake. It was about her own struggle for clarity amid the chaos. Was she losing herself in this relationship? Or had she already lost parts of herself without even realizing it? If you've ever felt this way, lost in a whirlwind of emotions and doubt, you're not alone. Together, let's uncover the truth about what's hiding behind that charming smile and find the strength to reclaim our voices. At first glance, everything seems like a fairy tale. Jake was everything Emma had ever dreamed of. Funny, kind, and endlessly attentive. The way he looked at her made her heart race, and she felt like she was the center of his universe. It was exhilarating. He showered her with affection, complimenting her in ways that made her blush. Every text was filled with sweet words, every date an adventure. In those early days, the world felt vibrant and alive, filled with possibilities and love. But beneath that sparkling surface, there was something else lurking, an intensity that felt both exhilarating and suffocating. It's easy to get swept up in the moment, to overlook the subtle signs of manipulation hidden beneath layers of charm. When someone comes on too strong, it can be a warning sign. Emma began to realize that Jake's love was so consuming that it left little room for her to breathe. It was like being pulled into a whirlwind, making her feel both adored and trapped. She had heard of love bombing, but experiencing it firsthand was a different story. It felt amazing to be showered with attention, yet there was an underlying fear that came with it, fear of not being enough, of losing that affection. As time went on, Emma found herself grappling with self-doubt. The feelings she once cherished now felt like chains, binding her to a version of love that seemed increasingly toxic. Each time Jake made a cutting remark, it chipped away at her self-esteem, leaving her questioning her worth. In those quiet moments of reflection, she understood that love shouldn't be overwhelming or suffocating. Healthy relationships thrive on balance, on mutual respect, and on allowing space for individuality. If you've ever felt swept off your feet only to find yourself feeling more like a shadow than a partner, it's crucial to pay attention. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to breaking free from the charm that can sometimes conceal darker intentions. Let's delve deeper into the red flags that can help identify a toxic partner before it's too late. As Emma began to sift through her feelings, certain red flags started to stand out, illuminating the darker corners of her relationship with Jake. One of the first signs was the way he reacted to her successes. When she landed a big promotion at work, instead of celebrating, Jake barely acknowledged it. A half-hearted congratulations, accompanied by a roll of his eyes, felt like a gut punch. In contrast, when he shared his achievements, she was expected to shower him with praise. It was a stark imbalance that left her feeling small and unworthy. Another glaring red flag was the way he dismissed her emotions. Whenever Emma opened up about something bothering her, Jake would often brush it off as overreacting or tell her to calm down. Those moments chipped away at her confidence, making her question if her feelings were valid. Gradually, the isolation crept in. Friends started to notice that Emma was spending less time with them. Jake often made comments about how they didn't understand their relationship or how he preferred to keep their lives private. It was subtle at first, a suggestion here, a slight pressure there, but over time, it felt like walls were closing in. Emma found herself making excuses to friends, downplaying the issues. "He's just really focused right now," or "we're working through some things." Each time she brushed off her worries, she felt a pang of guilt. It was as if she was betraying her own intuition. Then came the gaslighting. When Emma would confront Jake about his behavior, he would twist the narrative, making her feel like she was the one who was confused or unreasonable. He'd say things like, "You're too sensitive," or "That never happened," leaving her questioning her own memory and perceptions. These patterns began to paint a clearer picture of the relationship, one that was not built on love, but on control and manipulation. Emma started to realize that these red flags weren't just minor issues. They were warnings that something was deeply wrong. If you find yourself in a similar situation where your partner's behavior leaves you doubting yourself, remember, healthy love nurtures and uplifts, while toxic love tears you down. It's time to open your eyes to the truth. Let's explore practical steps to take when recognizing these toxic traits, so you can reclaim your sense of self and find the love you truly deserve. Recognizing toxic traits in a partner can feel overwhelming, but taking the first steps toward clarity and healing is essential. Emma began her journey of self-discovery by implementing some key strategies. First and foremost, she started journaling her feelings. Every time she noticed a negative interaction with Jake, she would write it down. This helped her to externalize her emotions and see patterns she might have otherwise overlooked. It was like shining a light into the dark corners of her mind, revealing the truth she had been hiding from herself. Next, Emma sought support from trusted friends. She reached out to a close friend she had unintentionally distanced herself from during the relationship. This friend provided a fresh perspective, reminding Emma of her worth and the importance of surrounding herself with positive influences. Another crucial step was setting boundaries. Emma began to identify what behavior was acceptable and what crossed the line. When Jake made dismissive comments about her feelings, she calmly told him, "I need you to respect my emotions. It's important for me to feel heard." Standing up for herself felt liberating, but it also revealed how uncomfortable Jake was with her newfound assertiveness. As she reinforced her boundaries, Emma noticed Jake's reactions. Instead of engaging in constructive conversations, he became defensive, shifting the blame back onto her. This confirmed her growing realization that his love was conditional, tied to her compliance and submission. One of the hardest lessons for Emma was learning to trust her instincts again. For so long, she had second-guessed herself. But she began practicing self-compassion. Every time a doubt crept in, she reminded herself that her feelings were valid and deserving of acknowledgement. Lastly, Emma sought professional help. Therapy became a safe space for her to unpack her experiences, explore her emotions, and rebuild her self-esteem. With the guidance of a therapist, she learned that seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. If you're in a situation where toxic traits have clouded your judgment, know that it's never too late to take steps toward healing. Start by listening to your instincts, surrounding yourself with supportive people, and seeking professional guidance if needed. You deserve to be treated with love and respect. Together, let's continue this journey of self-discovery and empowerment, reclaiming the strength that may have been lost in a toxic relationship. As Emma continued her journey toward clarity and healing, she realized that self-care was not just a luxury but a necessity. After all, how can one cultivate healthy love when they don't first love and care for themselves? She began to prioritize activities that made her feel alive. going for long walks in nature, painting, and even picking up that novel she had been meaning to read for months. Each time she engaged in these self-care rituals, she felt a little more like her old self, reconnecting with the passions and interests that made her unique. Emma also made it a point to practice mindfulness. Meditation became a daily ritual, offering her moments of peace amidst the chaos. During these quiet times, she learned to sit with her feelings without judgment, allowing herself to feel whatever came up, whether it was sadness, anger, or confusion. This practice helped her gain clarity and reinforced the notion that it was okay to not be okay. With each passing day, Emma grew stronger and more resilient. She started recognizing that her self-worth wasn't dependent on Jake's approval. It was a powerful realization that ignited a fire within her. Instead of waiting for validation from him, she learned to look inward and appreciate her own strengths. One day, during a therapy session, Emma shared her feelings of empowerment. Her therapist smiled and reminded her, "Healing is not linear. There will be ups and downs, but every step you take is a step toward freedom." Those words echoed in her mind, reminding her to be gentle with herself as she navigated this complex emotional landscape. Eventually, Emma began to envision a future beyond her relationship with Jake. She thought about the love she truly deserved, a love built on respect, mutual support, and shared growth. This vision fueled her determination to take back control over her life. If you're feeling lost or stuck in a toxic relationship, remember that self-care is not selfish, it's essential. Invest time in yourself, nurture your passions, and practice mindfulness. Surround yourself with people who uplift you and remind you of your worth. As Emma's journey continued, a profound truth began to settle within her. Sometimes, love is not enough to make a relationship work. Despite the beautiful moments she shared with Jake, the weight of toxicity had begun to overshadow the joy. One evening, while sitting in her favorite park, Emma reflected on her relationship. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow that reminded her of the early days with Jake. But instead of nostalgia, she felt a deep sense of longing for freedom. The freedom to be herself without fear or doubt. She recalled the moments when Jake's charm turned into criticism, how it chipped away at her confidence. Those memories, once painful, transformed into a source of strength. She realized that recognizing the toxic patterns was an act of courage, and now it was time to take the next step. Emma knew that letting go wouldn't be easy. The fear of being alone loomed large, and the thought of confronting Jake filled her with anxiety. But she also understood that staying in a toxic relationship would only prolong her pain and stifle her growth. That night, she reached out to her friend, seeking support. "I don't know how to end things with him," she confessed, her voice trembling. Her friend reassured her, "You don't have to do it alone. You deserve a partner who lifts you up, not one who brings you down." Those words echoed in Emma's heart, igniting a spark of determination. The following week, she decided to meet Jake in a neutral space, a cafe where they had shared so many laughs. As she sat across from him, her heart raced. It was a mix of fear and resolve, but she knew she had to speak her truth. "Jake," she began, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. "I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I need to be honest with you about how I feel. This relationship isn't healthy for me, and I need to prioritize my well-being." For a moment, silence enveloped the table, and Emma held her breath, waiting for his reaction. She saw the flicker of confusion in his eyes, but she stood firm, no longer willing to be swayed by his charm or his attempts to guilt her into staying. If you find yourself at a crossroads, remember that it's okay to prioritize your mental and emotional health. It's brave to recognize when a relationship isn't serving you, and it's even braver to take steps to protect yourself. The moment Emma uttered those words marked a pivotal turning point in her life. As Jake's expression shifted from confusion to frustration, a wave of emotions crashed over her. She felt a mix of relief and fear. Relief for speaking her truth and fear of the unknown that lay ahead. In the days following their conversation, the reality of her decision began to sink in. Emma experienced a whirlwind of emotions. Sadness for the relationship she was leaving behind, anxiety about being alone, and a profound sense of loss for the future she had envisioned with Jake. But amidst the chaos, there was also a glimmer of hope. She realized that embracing the pain of letting go was part of her healing journey. It was okay to grieve the relationship, to mourn the love that once felt so real. Each tear shed became a release, washing away the remnants of doubt and confusion. Emma turned to her journal once again, pouring her heart onto the pages. She wrote about the love she once had for Jake, but also about the pain he caused. Each entry became a testament to her resilience, a reminder that she was choosing herself, and that was worth celebrating. In those quiet moments of reflection, Emma learned that healing is not a linear process. There would be good days filled with laughter and hope, and there would be hard days when the weight of her decision felt unbearable. But with each passing day, she grew more determined to embrace both the light and the darkness. During one particularly difficult night, Emma curled up with a warm cup of tea, reminding herself that feeling pain meant she was alive, that she was capable of deep love and profound loss. It was a reminder of her strength, the strength to endure and emerge on the other side. In her conversations with friends, she began to share not just her struggles but also her victories. Each step forward, no matter how small, was a reason to celebrate. The support from her loved ones became a lifeline, reinforcing the idea that she was not alone in her journey. If you find yourself navigating the turbulent waters of letting go, know that it's okay to embrace the pain. Allow yourself to grieve, to feel, and to heal. You're not just ending a chapter, you're opening the door to new beginnings. As Emma continued her journey of healing, a profound realization dawned on her. This was not just about letting go of Jake. It was also about rediscovering who she truly was. In the whirlwind of their relationship, she had lost sight of herself, her passions, her dreams, her individuality. With each passing day, she began to reclaim those lost pieces. She dove back into her hobbies, picking up the paintbrush she had abandoned. The vibrant colors flowed onto the canvas, a visual representation of her emotions. Each stroke felt liberating, as if she were peeling away the layers of doubt and reclaiming her identity. Emma also revisited her love for hiking, something she and Jake had done together, but that had slipped away as their relationship became more toxic. She laced up her hiking boots and ventured into nature, feeling the crisp air fill her lungs and the ground solid beneath her feet. With each step, she felt stronger, more connected to herself. Through these experiences, Emma realized that self-discovery was not just about finding her interests, but also about understanding her values and beliefs. She began reflecting on what truly mattered to her: kindness, authenticity, and the importance of surrounding herself with people who uplift her. During one of her solo hikes, she paused at a breathtaking viewpoint, taking in the beauty around her. In that moment of stillness, she felt a deep sense of gratitude, not for what she had lost, but for the opportunity to find herself again. It was a turning point, a moment of clarity that solidified her commitment to herself. Emma also started to explore new friendships, reaching out to those who inspired her and encouraged her growth. She joined a local art class, where she met like-minded individuals who shared her passion for creativity. Each new connection was a reminder that she was not defined by her past, but by the choices she made moving forward. If you're finding it hard to reconnect with yourself after a toxic relationship, remember that it's never too late to rediscover your identity. Embrace your passions, reflect on your values, and surround yourself with uplifting people who see your worth. As Emma blossomed into her newfound self, she began to contemplate what a healthy relationship truly looked like. With each brushstroke on her canvas and each laugh shared with new friends, she understood that love should feel like a partnership built on trust, respect, and open communication. She started to visualize the qualities she wanted in a future partner, someone who would celebrate her successes, listen to her fears, and stand by her side as an equal. Emma recognized that her past relationship with Jake had shown her exactly what she didn't want: love that felt conditional and relationships that drained her spirit. One day, while chatting with her friends over coffee, Emma expressed her desire to find a relationship that aligns with her values. Her friends nodded in agreement, sharing their own experiences and the importance of setting standards based on self-worth. It's about creating boundaries that protect your heart, one friend said. You deserve someone who sees you for who you are and supports you in every way. Those words resonated deeply within Emma, reinforcing her commitment to prioritize her well-being. With this newfound clarity, Emma began to embrace the idea of dating again. But this time, it was different. She approached it with a sense of excitement rather than desperation. She understood that her past experiences didn't define her future. They were stepping stones on her journey. Emma joined a local book club, eager to meet new people and engage in meaningful conversations. It was there she met Alex, a kind soul with a passion for literature and a genuine interest in her thoughts and feelings. Their discussions flowed effortlessly, filled with laughter and a shared appreciation for creativity. As they grew closer, Emma was reminded of the importance of taking things slow. She communicated openly with Alex, sharing her past experiences and what she was looking for in a relationship. Alex listened intently, validating her feelings and respecting her boundaries. If you're considering entering the dating world again after a toxic relationship, remember that you have the power to choose what's best for you. Take your time, establish your standards, and be open to what love can truly be, a partnership filled with respect, understanding, and mutual support. As Emma navigated her blossoming connection with Alex, she began to reflect on how far she had come. The journey hadn't always been easy, but every step had been vital to her growth. She realized that healing isn't a destination. It's an ongoing process, filled with lessons and self-discovery. One sunny afternoon, Emma and Alex sat on a park bench, surrounded by blooming flowers and the laughter of children playing nearby. In that moment, Emma felt a warmth spread through her, a sense of gratitude for the progress she had made and the person she had become. "You know," Emma said, looking into Alex's kind eyes, "I've been through some tough experiences, but I truly believe they've shaped me into who I am today. I've learned the importance of self-love and the power of setting boundaries." Alex smiled, encouraging her to continue. "It's amazing to hear you talk about it so openly. That kind of awareness is essential for any healthy relationship." Emma felt a wave of relief wash over her. This was the kind of understanding she had longed for. Together, they talked about their pasts, sharing stories of growth and resilience. Emma felt safe expressing her fears and hopes, recognizing that vulnerability was a strength, not a weakness. Their conversations felt like a dance, balanced, respectful, and joyful. As their relationship blossomed, Emma made it a priority to continue nurturing her own interests and friendships. She embraced her independence, while also allowing herself to enjoy the warmth of companionship. Each day became an opportunity to learn more about herself and what it meant to love authentically. One evening, during a candlelit dinner at home, Emma raised her glass. "To new beginnings and the courage to embrace change," she said, her heart swelling with hope. Alex joined her, and in that moment, they both understood that their journey together was just beginning. If you find yourself at the start of a new chapter, remember to celebrate your growth. Embrace the lessons learned and carry them into your future. Love should be a source of strength and joy, and you have the power to create the relationship you desire. As Emma's story unfolded, it became clear that the journey toward self-discovery and healthy relationships is not just a personal narrative. It's a collective experience that many can relate to. Emma's growth represents a beacon of hope for anyone feeling trapped in a toxic relationship, reminding us all that healing is possible and worth the effort. So if you find yourself resonating with Emma's journey, take a moment to reflect on your own life. Are there aspects of your relationship or your self-worth that need attention? It's time to ask yourself the tough questions. What do you truly want and deserve in a relationship? How can you prioritize your well-being? Start by taking small, actionable steps. Write down your feelings, seek support from friends or professionals, and don't shy away from setting boundaries. Embrace self-care rituals that nurture your soul, whether it's through art, nature, or simply taking time for yourself. And if you're ready to explore new relationships, approach them with an open heart, but a mindful spirit. Remember, you deserve a partner who celebrates you and encourages your growth. Don't rush the process. Trust in the journey, knowing that every step you take brings you closer to the love you truly deserve. If Emma's story has touched your heart, consider sharing this video with someone who might need it. Together, let's spread awareness about toxic relationships and the importance of self-love. Your story matters, and your journey can inspire others. Finally, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more empowering content on relationships, self-discovery, and healing. Join a community of individuals committed to growth and positivity, and let's support one another on this incredible journey. Remember, your story is still being written. Embrace the process, trust yourself, and step into a future filled with love, joy, and fulfillment. Together, we can uncover the true nature of love and learn to cherish the beauty of healthy relationships.